Hello, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, whatever time it is for you. Welcome to the SFR Notebook. No Van Rocco this week, he's away on holiday with the family, so Delta Lima here filling in. I will try and live up to his standard, but of course he is the notebook god, so I'll just do my best. So let's crack on with the race review. First league race on F1 2021 and first race of season 4 for SFR. We headed off to Spa. What a way to start the season. Spa is one of my favourite tracks. Found it a bit difficult myself so far this year. Obviously setups are slightly different, trying to get that perfect setup going. Qualifying wise, Frog Labelle on form every time he comes out pretty much, and smashed it out of the park for the first race. Set a qualifying time of a 1:41.025. What a cracking time. Very nearly pipped to the post. Henry Rogers, last man to cross the line for qualifying, was only 600ths down on him, which I think is a fantastic time. And both of them very competitive there. So, race-wise, we knew the weather was going to be dry, wet, dry. Didn't quite predict, none of us quite predicted how wet it would be so early on. 20 drivers all started on the soft tyre. I'm pretty sure 20 drivers all wished they could pit during the formation lap. I don't know if, like me, I kept pressing my radio button quite a few times on the formation lap just to see if Jeff might, mix it up. But no, instead he kept shouting at me, telling me, no, don't be silly. It's only formation lap, you can't pit. So everyone started on the dry tyres on a wet track, unfortunately, which meant we lost a couple of drivers on lap 1, turn 1, up through Eau Rouge, and on the grid as well. We lost some people. So safety car straight away, which gave everyone pretty much a bit of a break to be able to get into the pits. Change some wings, but definitely put those intermediate tyres on. You can see from the replay from the stream that a lot of people were backing off to give themselves space to their teammate. Myself and Vit timed it almost perfectly. I literally stopped for a split second behind him and then went straight in. So it looks like Codemasters might have got their finger out on the ball with this one this year, but we'll see. 20 drivers started the race, only 10 finished. Holmesy brought home the checkered flag in P1. Henry Rogers, very much on form. Normally we see Henry, bless him, very good in qualifying and then sometimes gets caught up in the race. But brought it home for P2 in the Alfa Romeo, and then Exotic finally woke up, bless him, to join us in qualifying and managed to secure P3 at the end of the race. So a double podium position for Alfa Romeo. So let's move on to Van Rocco / Delta Lima's gradebook. As always, gradebook, anything from an A star down to an F. Based on your performance, only one A star each week to give out and one F to give out. 20 drivers start the race, so there'll be 20 grades. So we'll start from bottom and work our way up to the top. So, Cool Beans, first guy to DNF, started P10, DNF'd off the grid. His comments in the Discord were traction control, and that was it. So DNF'd, so we'll give you an E. The next one up, Righty Boy, also DNF'd at the beginning of the race, started in P17, DNF'd on the start, finished straight on the grid. He did mention that he was pretty much laughing at Stuart Little and wasn't paying attention to himself. So an E for Righty Boy. Rayner was our next DNF, started in P6, E. And then Toss and Viet both DNF'd at the same time, so both get an E. Get a trend here. Ted Wildo was the next person to DNF, started in P14, finished P15 with the DNFs, so E. Medwards started P13, DNF'd, E. And then Frog Labelle, started out so strong, man, coming in and qualifying, setting that pole position. Not quite sure what happened, but unfortunately DNF'd, so E. So the next two DNFs, classified finishers, completed 90% of the race, well, more than that. Willans started P5, DNF'd on the last lap of the race. He even said himself in the Discord that he was pushing hard to try and catch up to Fünf Kugel Eis. So for that, I'll give you a D, since you did complete over 90% of the race. And at the same time, Lasse Haverhaus started P3, again DNF'd on the last lap of the race, so a D. So P10 then, Delta Lima started in P16, climbed all the way up to P10. Some of that was down to my driving, a lot of that was down to 10 other drivers DNFing. Grading myself, I said there was one F to give out, and I'm going to give it to myself purely because of the disastrous Delta Lima strategy. Intermediates to dry tyres. So much was going on, so many safety cars left, right and centre. I paused the game for a moment, wasn't paying attention, unpaused it, going round the bus stop chicane. Everyone else is diving in the pits. Delta Lima had to do another full lap on inters. So I'll give myself the F there. Red Dog started P11, finished P9. Good strong performance from you. Give you a B. From Cool and Ice started P20, finished P8. Great performance, obviously aided in the fact that 10 people DNF'd. But you got yourself up there, even though you were talking about the fact that you struggle with the game and a lot of spinning. I did notice on a lot of the stream when you were on camera, there was a bit of a twitchiness, a bit of tank slapping going around the corner with those back wheels kicking out. But you got all the way up there, so A. B16 Boy, P12 to P7. Another strong performance, finished strong last season, starting strong this season. Hopefully you can keep it up and in the points there. So A. AA Gaming coming in as a reserve, great performance, started P15, got all the way up to P6. A. Dace, P4 to P5, lost one position off of his starting position. Not quite sure what happened. I think he might have, don't know whether he clipped a wall or something, but might have had a bit of damage. But only lost one place. Another strong performance. We know he's got pace. And we know he can be up there as long as he doesn't get caught up in any incidents with anyone. So nice one, A. And Stein started P8, finished P4. Great performance from yourself. Again, jumping in last minute as a reserve, A. And then we move on to our top three. Exotic started P9, finished P3. Great drive from yourself after waking up late, A. Henry Rogers, P2 to P2. Great performance in qualifying and was fighting your way up during the race. On that last lap, I think there were only about 3 tenths between yourself and Honesy in P1 at the end. So potential, if the race was a bit longer, you could have potentially caught up with him, I think, and maybe passed, depending on how Honesy got on. But great from you, A. And I'm going to give my A star to Honesy. He did bring it home in first this week. And I'm going to give it to you because you mastered the conditions. You kept everyone off of you. You kept pushing the whole way to the end. And a great standout performance. So A star for yourself. Okay, so this week we head off to Spain, Circuit de Catalunya down in Barcelona. Normally a testing track, obviously, within F1. Some people love it, some people hate it. Can be a good race. In real life, it can tend to get a bit boring if there's nothing much going on, if all the cars get spaced out as normal. We have raced there plenty of times now in SFR. Not my favourite track. I tend to either die at turn 2 or die at turn 9. But generally, overall, the track kind of encompasses a bit of everything, hence why it's used as testing. Turn 1, turn 2 especially, if you get too much, if you don't get enough on the inside curb, you could end up drifting wide or spinning. Obviously, if you get too much on the curb, you're getting warnings invalidating. The long drift round turn 3 up to turn 4, which is a long right-hander. Keeping it in 4th gear, power on as quickly as you can. Drift a little bit wide on the exit and then get back over to the right for turn 5, which is a nice slower 2nd/3rd gear corner. Up into 6, 7 and 8. Which can be quite tricky, the uphill section. The right-hand curb, you obviously got the curb, the sausage curb sticking up there, which can catch a few people out. I've noticed when I've been there this season, when I've raced a couple of times, done a bit of time trial, spinning a lot more than I did last year on those couple of corners. Up to turn 9, which is my least favourite corner. Last time out, I think I DNF'd there, to be honest. I definitely ended my qualifying early there, and I think in the race I DNF'd there. trying to take too much power through the right-hander, getting onto the left, and I just lost it last time out. Spun into the wall, thought I'd saved it, and then bam, I think I got in the way and someone hit me. At one time I've been there, and then another time, literally hit the wall, thought I'd saved it, and the back end clipped it. It's not my favourite corner. And then you head up into turn 10, which is the existing turn 10. Obviously, they haven't remapped the course at all, so we've still got that tight left hairpin to deal with. And then into the final sector, and most notably the last two corners, where if you're racing on normal, the track limits aren't very good. You know, we are racing on strict track limits for this year's or this season's race. Yeah, don't do the Willands or Henry Rogers line, cutting that corner completely. None of that this time out. Just joking, boys. Made full advantage of it, but, you know, not in the fairness of the game and for the other drivers. So yeah, so strict corner cutting this time. And then on to the start-finish straight, and the finish line or the checker flag is about a third of the way up the straight, because it's quite a long straight. So potential, if you're running close to someone out of that last corner, to pit them to the line. We'll see. So standard on the weekend, on Sunday evening, 6 o'clock UK time, we'll open up a practice lobby. Not mandatory, but if you wish to join, we do run wet conditions and then dry. Look out for the invite or the announcement in the Discord. And then the race lobby opens at 7 o'clock. As always, Van Rockel will send out the invites for a race start at 7:15. If you're racing this weekend, please try to be on time and prompt. Please don't sleep in. Exotic, just saying. We'll accommodate as much as we can. And obviously, if you're available to reserve, just let us know on the Discord, and we'll assign seats as and where people aren't available from the full-time roster. So that's it from me. Hopefully next week, back to the standard Van Rocco, who will shine in the notebook as always. But for now, enjoy the rest of the week. Enjoy your weekend. In the words of Van Rocco, over and out.